Reading from Srila Prabhupada, Caritamrta. He built a house in which the whole world can live. This is a chapter entitled In Every Town and Village. Even while recuperating in India, Prabhupada had always thought of returning to America to continue his movement. The Indians had seemed interested only in sense gratification, like that of the Americans. But many American youths, disillusioned with their father's wealth, were not going to the skyscrapers or to their father's businesses. As Prabhupada had seen from his stage in New York City and San Francisco, thousands of youths were seeking an alternative to materialism. Frustrated, they were ripe for spiritual knowledge. The devotees, still neophytes, knew nothing of spiritual life, in most cases very little of material life. Because they were sincerely taking to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada was confident that their shortcomings would not prevent their spiritual progress. Although naturally beautiful, these Western youths were now dirty and morose. Their beauty had become covered. The chanting of Hare Krishna was reviving them. Prabhupada said, just as the monsoon revives the land of Vrindavan, making it fresh and verdant. And as the Vrindavan peacocks sometimes dance jubilantly, so the devotees, having shed their material bonds, were now ecstatically dancing and chanting the holy names. When a reporter asked Prabhupada if his disciples were hippies, Prabhupada replied, no, we are not hippies, we are happies. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will continue reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Leela. Okay. Chapter number 19, verse number 153. Upajaya Badilata Brahmanda Bhaidiyaya Viraja Brahmaloka Bhaidi Paravyomapayam. Давайте читаем молитву. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Do we read Bengali together? How we read? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have. Yeah. Yeah, we have purport here. Upajaya Badilata Brahmanda Bhaidiyaya Viraja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyoma Paya Upagyaya Badilata Brahmanda Bhediyaya Viraja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyoma Paya. You can read. Upajiya Badilata Bhediyaya Upajiya Badilata Brahmanda Bhediyaya Upajiya Badilata Brahmanda Bhaidiyaya Viraja Brahma Loka Bhedi Paravyamapaya. Mataji. Upajiya Badalata Brahmanda Bediyaya. Viraja Brahma Loka Bedi Paravyamapaya. Thank you. Upagyaya, being cultivated. Bade, grows. Lata, the creeper of devotional service. Brahmanda, the whole universe. Bedi, penetrating. Yaya, goes. Viraja, the river between the spiritual world and material world. Brahmaloka, the Brahman effulgence. Bhedi, penetrating. Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Paya, attains. Translation and purport of Srila Prabhupada. As one waters the Bhaktilata Bija, the seed spurts, and the creeper gradually grows to the point where it penetrates the walls of the universe and goes beyond the Raja river, lying between the spiritual world and the material world. It attains Brahmaloka, the Brahman effulgence, and penetrating through that stratum, it reaches the spiritual sky and the spiritual planet Galoka Vrindavana. We can read together. Yes. As one waters the Bhaktilata Bija, one waters the seed sprouts and the creeper gradually grows to the point where it penetrates the walls of the universe and goes beyond the Vraja river. A line between the spiritual world and the material world. It attains Brahma Loka, the Brahman effulgence, and penetrating through that stratum. It reaches the spiritual sky and the spiritual planet Goloka Vrindavana. Thank you. Pupot. A creeper generally takes the shelter of a big tree, but the Bhaktilata, being the creeper of spiritual energy, cannot take shelter of any material planet. For there is no tree on any material planet that the Bhaktilata creeper can utilize for shelter. In other words, devotional service cannot be utilized for any material purpose. Devotional service is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes men with a poor fund of knowledge maintain the bhakti can be applied to material things also. In the other words, they say the devotional service can be rendered to one's country or to the demigods, but this is not a fact. Devotional service is especially meant for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is beyond this material range. There is a river or causal ocean between the spiritual and material natures. And this river is free from the influence of three modes of material nature. Therefore, it is called Viraja. The prefix V means vigata, completely eradicated. And Rajas mean the influence of the material world. On this platform, a living entity is completely free from material entanglement. For the Gyanis who want to merge into the Brahman effulgence, there is Brahmaloka. The Bhaktilata, however, has no shelter in material world, nor has it shelter in Brahmaloka. Also, Brahmaloka is beyond the material world. The Bhakti Lata grows until it reaches the spiritual sky, where Goloka Vrindavana is situated. Upajaya Badilata Brahmande Bhediyaya Viraja Brahma Loka Bedi Paravyoma Paya. As one waters the Bhaktilata Bija, the seed sprouts, and the creepers gradually grows to the point where it is penetrates the walls of the universe and goes beyond the Viraja river. Lying between the spiritual world and the material world, it attains Brahma Loka, the Brahman effulgence. And penetrating through that stratum, it reached the spiritual sky and the spiritual planet Goloka Vrindavana. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadanhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I'm glad to see you. You read every Sunday Caitanya Caritamrta, yes? Yes, Caitanya Caritamrta is open out to us the secrets, even Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest scripture of Veda. But Caitanya Caritamrita even even open us more deep secrets that Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned. Of course, Shukadeva Goswami mentioned, but not open the most secrets, the biggest secrets. And Caitanya Caritamrita opened these secrets also. Yes. Here is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami. Yes, very important instructions. And before you read a very famous verse, which speaking about how this Bhakti Lata Bija living entity can have this. According to their karma, living entities are wandering through the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planet systems, and some are going down into lower planet systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and spiritual master, such person receives the seed of creeper of devotional service. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, he should take care of it by becoming a granderer and sowing the seed in his heart. If he watered the seed gradually by process of Shravana and Kirtana, hearing and chanting, the seed will begin to sprout. And here is today's verse we read. And of course, today is the first day of Kartika. Hare Krishna, yes. So I remember read this verse and then remember the story about Krishna. This month we will hear many stories about Lord Krishna, about his leelas, so famous, so important leelas. And I remember this with this verse connection leela, when a person receives about that we receive seed from a spiritual master bona fide. Yes, I remember this lila, beginning of after Damodara lila. Yes, Krishna was connected, привязан, bound, stupa, как это? Yeah. Yes. Yes. And there is an interesting story in Srimad Bhagavata mentioned how two demigods, their names was Manigriva, Nalakuvara. They was sons of very, very rich person, of very, very rich demigod, Kuvera. So they were rich and they were enjoying with girls in the river. And then don't interested in Krishna consciousness, in spiritual life. That's why we don't want to go to heavenly planets, because it's very difficult to cultivate spiritual life in heavenly planets, because it's too good there. You have too much enjoys, and it's very difficult for you. So, and they don't interested in spiritual life, but one time the Narada Muni was going near there, and he saw these demigods playing, enjoying with girls, and he said that he think that I want to give mercy to them. And what he do? Curse them. Yes, he cursed them. he cursed that they will be trees. They will be staying like a trees for 1,000 and 1,000 years. So, yes, but this is a way that Narada Muni gives them Bhakti Lata Bija, so unstandard way. And they're standing like a trees for 1,000 and 1,000 years in Galoka and in Vrindavana, near Vrindavana, and in material world. This is one material world. And after many years, so much years, they were standing. They're suffering. Is this suffering because of curse of same person? This suffering was very purifying for them. And after many years, after many 1,000 years, when Krishna came to this material world, he was how you say? Crawled. Yes, he was crawled near, and he sees the trees, and he understands that this is soul, this living entity, these demigods. And Shukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam described his thoughts, what Krishna was thinking about. And Krishna's thought was, I don't interested in this living entities, in this soul, because they are not interested in me. But my devotee, Narada Muni, said that I will save them. So I don't want to save them, but so my very close devotee to me said that I will save them. I need to save them. So Krishna, okay, I will go, and he go and liberate these souls. So this is our position. Because of mercy Srila Prabhupada, Krishna yes, Krishna also want to save us because of mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So this is way how it's going. And today is first day of Caritamrta. And usually this tradition when a devotee make vows. It's vows. Vows. Yes, it's very important for our spiritual life. Of course, like who said, one of disciples Srila Prabhupada said that real devotion life is mean that whole year, every day, you have very intensive devotional life. So Kartika month is one of these intensive devotional service months, days. But for us, we are not so intensive in spiritual life. Maybe about myself, but this Caritamrta we can take make some vows. Yes, and we receive the seed of Bhakti Lata from our spiritual master, from devotees, from Srila Prabhupada, from our Sampradaya, from Parampara. And according to this verse, we need to make two jobs, two works, two type of job. Yeah, what is two type of jobs? According to these verses. Huh? Yeah, water. This is one way. This is one type of. And second type? We don't read about this, but you must know this.
Weeding.
Ah?
Remove the weeds.
Yeah, remove the weeds. Yes. And this Caritamrta is very good time for this. We can make vows with one of these types. We can make vows with watering our seeds, Bhakti Lata seeds, or how you say? Weeding. Yes. And spiritual life is about progress. I need to have a progress. I need to have some progress, step by step. Every day, every week, every month, I must feel this progress, that I'm progressing. There is some progress. This way, our faith in spiritual life becomes stronger, that I see result. So, and what is steps in a spiritual life? They are connected with two things. I'm watering my seed, or I weeding, yes. These two processes are connected. And in this month, we can take vows which can be next step in my spiritual life, a little step, not big step. Krishna Prema is our goal in our life, but it's so far away from us. And if there will be no steps between my finish goal, yes, and myself where I am, it will be impossible to progress. So one of spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, said that we must have steps between this. Our spiritual life must be step by step. This way, I can progress, I can feel progress, I can be inspired, because if there is no steps between Krishna Prema and me now, there is two ways. I will lose my faith because it's impossible to reach this goal, or I will pretend. I think pretend that I'm reached, though I can reach. There is two ways. So we must have some steps before this, between us. So this Caritamrta month is good to look in my spiritual life and to try to understand with help of, there is two types of guru. There are many types of guru, but generally, and Shastra said that first type, one guru is outside guru. Of course, one guru is inside us. This is Paramatma, is Krishna in our heart. But another type of guru is our intelligence. So we can use one of these types of guru and try to understand what I need now, what for my spiritual life will be a next small step. If it's better to have some senior devotee, some mentor in our life who can help us understand what is for me in my level now, important, and what is will be next step, small step, very small step for this month. Or if I have no such mentor, such senior devotee I believe in, we have relationship, so I can use my intelligence and try to understand what is important for me now. So, and I can take this, I make this vow in next month, connected with watering. What is mean watering? I can read more Shastra every day. This is watering. I can listen Krishna Katha every day more. So if I don't listen every day, Krishna Katha, I can start to listen every day for half an hour or 1 hour of my Guru Maharaj, of Srila Prabhupada, of another devotees. I can listen about Krishna Lila, about philosophy, so I can listen. I can read more. I can read, if I don't read every day, I can read to start 15 minutes or half an hour every day. So, or 1 hour every day, or 2 hours every day. It's connected with our level where we now. So, or it may be connected with weeding. Huh? Weeding. Yeah, weeding. Because so many things are not good inside. In the next verses, we will read this, that with this seed of Bhakti Lacha, which we received, was given us from spiritual master, there are many other seeds in our heart. Many, and we don't need to receive them. They're already inside us. This is our karma. Our karma is inside us, in that our chitta, inside our mind. There is everything inside. So by practicing Bhakti Yoga, by watering, they will also grow. So we can try to weed them. Oh, for example, I can make a vow for us, for Ukrainian people, now very important, very not to read news, because we are very interested in what is happening, what is going now. So many different things, war and many things. So devotees are sometimes diving in this news, this are satsanga. So when one can take the vow not to read news, because this satsanga is not very good. So if we have some bad habits in our life, for example, I don't know what habits, we are smoking or something like that, we can take vow not to do this or to do less of this. So it's good. What do you think? What vows can be important for us with watering and with waiting? Yeah. Oh, yes, it's very good. Yes, not to criticize. And not doing this for 1 month, we can feel difference. We can feel difference. What else? Think about yourself, yes, and what will be important to do. Small step, not too big step. Real small step. What do you think?
Also, not just not criticizing, but also wish well to the people. In our mind, it's important to wish that they will grow as devotees, to have these positive thoughts for the people around us, and especially I think it can really help us if it's a person that a little bit for some reason annoys us, or I don't know, there's something, and then we try to see in our mind like why is it the case, and then instead of criticizing, then we positively we say, okay, we wish that this person will make a progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that in thoughts it's very good, but if somebody, it can be difficult to have thoughts, to have a good thoughts, it's better in another level to glorify devotee, to say something. No, understand? Yes, it's easier. It's easier because it's difficult to control our thoughts, but it's easier to make some practical things to glorify some. Yes. What else? What can be vows on these Kartik months? No. Raghunath.
To serve devotees, make a vow and make a really focus on increase my meditation, how I can serve devotees.
Yeah, but it must be very practical. One small thing practical. So, for example, I can take vow to make one service to one devotee a day. So it's good to be concrete. So what I need to do? Yeah. So, for example, to serve one devotee a day or two devotees a day, one devotee a few times, you can. So this is also good vow. It's for Caritamrta. Any thoughts? Piprabhu. What do you think important?
We could take a vow to maybe chant extra rounds. We could maybe chant extra rounds during this time, or we could attend Mangalati or Gaurati every day.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yes. Of course, 2 vows we need to do. This is to sing every day this bhajan. Yes, and to offer Krishna Deepa, candle every day. This is 2 vows we must do for this Caritamrta. Okay. So we can think today. What is small step for our spiritual life? Yeah. Microphone to Prabhu.
To maintain what I'm doing now and not like fall off of that. So just every day being consistent with the practice. For me, what that is for anyone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yes, we can think today. We can come to the deities and inside us think what I can do and make this small vow. And we can say about this to our mentor if we have a mentor, but not need to speak to everyone on this, what I will do. Yes, we can come, offer obeisances to the deities, to Srila Prabhupada, to sing and to make this all, and to follow this all months. So, any thoughts? Any questions? Raghunath Bhatt Prabhu, what you can add?
The first word in the universe, it was tapa, that Brahma heard. And by that purification, then he was able to see Krishna. Before that, he had no clue, what's going on around him. He was going to all directions. There was nothing. But when he performed this sacrifice, and of course, in this age, especially Sankirtan Yagya is very powerful in terms of sacrifice. So I'd like to pass to Dakshija to say a couple of words about that.
Yes, Sankirtan Yoga is very appropriate in Kali Yuga because it's the easiest, most immediate way. And sometimes if we take it for granted, it's good to go out and give it to others because other people are still fresh and it's very novel to them. And we can see by the ecstasy they experience that it is very special and we're very privileged. So Harinam Sankirtan is very, very good for that, whether you're giving out books or just giving out the holy name. And it's our best welfare activity as well, isn't it? Dadati Patiginati. To give the holy name and to receive the holy name is the highest form of giving and taking. So it creates a living exchange, which is what people are looking for. That's why they like the Harinam so much, because they get a chance to have a living exchange.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the class. A question from the purport, please. It says in the purport towards the end that the Bhakti Lata, however, has no shelter in the material world, nor has it shelter in Brahma Loka, although Brahma Loka is beyond the material world. And some places we hear that Brahma Loka is within the material world, it's the topmost planet in the material world, and here it's like Brahma Loka is beyond the material world. If you could kindly explain, please.
Yeah, I want to say about this. This is one common word that means in different places. In this purport, Brahma Loka means Brahman. Brahman. Loka means world of Brahman. So in some places, Brahma Loka means that Lord Brahma, world, the highest planet of this material universe, very, very close to to spiritual world, yes. And Brahma Loka, it's mean Brahman. Okay? So it's mean the world of spiritual energy, the world of eternity. So yeah, sometimes one's words can means different things. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. About Brahman, I have one verse. Brahmanda bhavat esha chit paradha guni kritaha naiti bhakta sukham bodhe paramanu tulamapi. I will translate 1 second. The spiritual pleasure that's come from realizing the impersonal Brahman, Brahma Loka. So why this Bhakti Lata goes further, goes higher and higher and higher. The spiritual pleasure that comes from realizing the impersonal Brahman, multiplied by 1 billion times, cannot be compared with the drop of ocean of Bhakti, transcendental service. This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This verse is foundation of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instruction for Rupa Goswami, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Rupa Goswami said that if we multiply by 1 million times this sukha, this happiness of Brahman, it will be 1 drop of Bhakti. Yes, so that's why this Bhakti Laja go higher and higher. Yeah.
Thanks, Prabhu. This analogy of the Bhakti Lata Bija, the creeper, the Prabhupada says in the purport, normally a creeper climbs up a tree,
Yeah.
but there's nothing material the Bhakti Lata can be supported by. But still, a creeper needs support. It doesn't have the strength to go vertical itself. It needs to climb up, some wall or some. So in this analogy, does it give any insight into what is the support for the creeper?
as far as I understand, this is analogy. Every analogy have its limitations. Yes. So this is just analogy. So and from one point of view, and from another point of view, it is so powerful. It's so powerful that it can goes without this in this world and goes straight to the Goloka Vrindavan. So this is speaking about the power of this. Hare Krishna.
It's like a beanstalk, and we're checking the beanstalk because the beanstalk just grows up, and because it's a spiritual thing, then it doesn't need the support of a tree to grow. It just gets planted, and then it just keeps going, and then you climb up, go back to the spiritual world.
Raghunath, can you add something?
And also, it says here that nothing materially can support it. However, spiritually can be supported. So when we have trees planted a few years ago, they put in this plastic tube because otherwise rabbits come and eat it. So this plastic tube, for us is like association of devotees. You mentioned mentor, having a senior devotee who can guide us and protect us, and also culture of Krishna consciousness. There's many protective things that is supporting the Bhakti Lata Bija. So
yes, you will read the next verses. There is Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say about this. Continue on this analogy that we need protection to this Bhakti Lata. What is protection? He will speak about. So we can continue this analogy to speak more, to understand many things from this analogy. Yes, yes, and the most destroying thing for this Bhakti Lata Bija is aparadha, Vaishnava aparadha. So this is big, crazy elephant, Vaishnava aparadha. So this is analogy. It has limitations.
Just as you're speaking there, I remember seeing there's one illustration that's been created that sort of it shows the whole cosmic manifestation. Maybe you've seen there's the material worlds, there's like Mahavishnu and then the Kshirodaya, the different plenary expansions and then the different coverings in the material universe, all the way going up to Goloka Vrindavan.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows there's a Maha Mantra, like weaving like this, and it goes all the way from the material world right to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So I was wondering if the Maha Mantra itself is actually the support. The Maha Mantra is what?
Yeah, this is part of Bhakti Lata. This is part of Bhakti Lata. Okay, Shri Chaitanya Caritamrta ki jai, Kartika ki jai, Shri Gaura ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.